Two billionaires fell in love with a bar girl, a love war nobody saw coming. Tara Peters grew up in a home where childhood ended before it even started. When her parents split, the noise in the house didn't stop. It simply changed shape. Her mother cried more than she spoke. Her father tried to fight poverty with anger until he walked out one night and never came back. School fees stopped the next term. Food became unpredictable. Tara became the one who held the house together, even though she was barely old enough to understand the weight she was carrying. She learned quickly that Lagos doesn't pause for anyone's pain. It rewards those who adapt, ignore fear, and move. By 18, she understood two truths. Nobody is coming to save you, and survival is its own kind of education. So she built two lives. By day, she worked at Elite Greens Golf Club, a place where the wealthy behaved like the world belonged to them. She served drinks, kept her head down, smiled when necessary, and watched everything. People assumed she was just a bar girl, but Tara was studying the rich the way people study textbooks. By night, she transformed into a slay queen version of herself. Not because she enjoyed nightlife, but because Lagos rarely respected broke girls with soft stories. She refused to remain invisible. She refused to starve again. Beauty and confidence became her armor. Strategy became her currency. One afternoon at the golf club, she walked toward a table where a group of men were buried in documents. One of them, a calm-faced man with a serious gaze, kept tapping his pen, clearly frustrated. His friends joked around him, but he wasn't listening. Something about him felt controlled, calculated, like a man used to getting answers immediately. As she placed their drinks down, he sighed. Maybe cutting staff is the only way to stop this loss. Tara didn't even look up. She simply said, "Cutting staff weakens the only part of a dying company that's still loyal. Fix the system leaking money. Don't punish the people holding it together." The table went silent. He turned slowly to look at her, studying her face with quiet shock. "What do you know about restructuring?" She answered with three simple points. Sharp, precise, the kind people pay consultants millions for. Not in a boastful way, just facts she had observed and connected, the same way she connected everything she saw. Before he could ask another question, her boss called out, "Tara, table 9, move!" She walked away without glancing back, but the man did not take his eyes off her. Something about her unsettled him, in the best way. A week later, another man sat alone in the lounge after hours, taller, more rugged, wearing the exhaustion of someone who built empires with his bare hands. His financial report lay open, and frustration sat heavy on his shoulders. As Tara served his drink, she asked quietly, "Rough day?" He laughed without humor. 30 million gone. That's more than rough." She glanced once at the paper. "If someone outruns you, don't chase. Change the race." He looked up immediately, eyebrows raised. "Or explain that." She broke it down in one clean sentence. A street-smart business strategy disguised as simple advice. He stared at her like she was a puzzle he suddenly wanted to solve. "Who exactly are you?" She gave a faint smile. "Just working," and walked off. But just like the first man, he watched her leave, wondering how a girl serving drinks sounded more brilliant than half the CEOs he knew. The next day, the first man returned. The next evening, the second man returned. Both pretending it was coincidence. Both searching for the girl who spoke like prophet and carried herself like calm fire. Tara wasn't thinking about love or attention. She was thinking about bills, her mother's medication, and how to make tomorrow easier than yesterday. She didn't know she had already stepped into the center of a storm, one built by two men who always had everything, except a woman they couldn't predict. And neither man had any idea yet that the mysterious girl from the golf club would soon change the course of their rivalry forever. Morning shifts at Elite Greens always came with the same sounds: golf carts humming, wealthy men arguing about deals they didn't fully understand, and Tara moving between tables with the quiet efficiency of someone who had learned not to waste energy on anything unnecessary. But lately, something had changed. Adrian Cole had returned 3 times in 1 week. Not with friends, not with business partners. Just him, sitting at the same corner seat, pretending to read. But his eyes always lifted whenever Tara walked by. He never flirted, never approached her with that entitled charm rich men love to use. Instead, he asked questions, real questions. Where did you learn to think like that? Are you in school? What do you actually want to do with your life? Each time Tara gave small, controlled answers that revealed nothing and everything at once. She had intelligence that came from surviving, not studying, and Adrian found himself looking forward to the moment she spoke, short as they were. One afternoon she brought him tea. He noticed her hand tremble slightly. "You good?" he asked. She forced a smile. "Long night, that's all." He didn't know that long night meant going to clubs to escort high-profile clients safely to their seats, being tipped for attention she didn't give, returning home at 2 a.m., then waking up at 5 to help her mother prepare akara to sell. Adrian didn't push. He only watched her walk away, and something in him shifted. The quiet, dangerous kind of admiration he didn't know how to stop. Across the city, Kelvin Bamadel sat in traffic, thinking about her too. He had returned to the lounge twice already, hoping she'd walk past again with that calm confidence that confused him. Kelvin had seen women who wanted money, women who wanted connections, women who wanted his last name, even women who pretended they didn't want anything. But Tara, she didn't even pretend. She simply didn't care. When he finally saw her again, carrying a tray of cocktails, he felt something rare, a jolt of excitement. He tried small talk. "You still give him free business advice?" She smirked. "Only when people look like they're about to ruin their life savings." He laughed genuinely for the first time that week. That night after closing, Tara checked her tips, tied her scarf, and began the slow walk home. She didn't notice Adrian parked in the far corner, watching to make sure she got into a taxi safely. He didn't approach. He just watched. He didn't know Kelvin had done the same thing 2 days earlier. Tara reached home, kicked off her shoes, and sat beside her mother, who lay half asleep on the mattress. She brushed the woman's hair and whispered, "I'm trying, Mommy. I really am." Back at the golf club, 2 men who rarely agreed on anything unknowingly shared the same thought. Who exactly is this girl? And for the first time, both Adrian and Kelvin felt something unsettling, a sense that they were no longer fully in control of their own curiosity. The city slept. Tara slept. But 2 billionaires lay awake, replaying every word she'd said. Her life was ordinary. Her circumstances were harsh. But her presence had started a quiet war neither man had expected. And Tara had no idea she was the reason 2 empires were about to collide. The next few days at Elite Greens felt strange. Tara wasn't the type to expect anything from anyone, especially not from rich men who usually spoke to her the way people spoke to elevator buttons: Press, command, move on. But something had shifted, and she felt it long before she admitted it. Adrian Cole returned first. Not with an entourage this time, not with loud friends or business partners, just him, dressed simply, sleeves folded, calm but watchful, the way men behaved when they were looking for something but pretending they weren't. Tara was wiping down the bar counter when she felt someone stop in front of her. She looked up. Adrian's eyes met hers, steady, unreadable, focused. "I came to clarify something," he said. She raised a brow. "About your drink order?" A small smile touched his lips. "No, about your brain." Tara blinked. "My brain? You gave a better business analysis in 10 seconds than 3 people I pay 6 figures," he said. "I want to know how." She looked at him, really looked, and saw a man who wasn't flirting, wasn't pretending. He was genuinely intrigued, maybe even impressed, and that was more dangerous than desire. She leaned slightly over the counter. "Sir, some of us learn business by living it, not studying it." Before he could respond, her boss shouted her name again. Tara exhaled softly and walked off. Adrian watched her move across the room, and something inside him shifted, something he hadn't felt in years. By evening, Kelvin Bamadel walked in. If Adrian's presence was quiet impact, Kelvin's was the opposite. Bold, commanding, effortlessly charismatic. People greeted him like a man whose name opened impossible doors. He spotted Terry immediately. "You again," he said, sliding onto the bar stool. She folded her arms. "Are you here to complain about another 30 million? He laughed, genuinely this time. "No, I came to ask how you saw something my whole team missed." Tara shrugged. "Maybe they're too educated to see simple things." Kelvin leaned in, curious. "And you? What makes you see them?" "Survival," she said. "It forces your eyes open." There was a silence, the meaningful kind, before Kelvin finally nodded, like he understood a language only she spoke. Then something happened that Tara didn't expect. Adrian walked in. Kelvin turned. Their eyes met. A small shift in the air. A silent recognition. 2 powerful men, used to owning their world, suddenly aware they weren't alone in their interest. Neither greeted the other. Neither backed down. They simply watched Tara and watched each other watching her. Tara sighed under her breath. "This is why I avoid rich people," she muttered. Later that night, as she stepped out of the club, a black Maybach rolled up beside her. The window slid down. Kelvin. "I'll be hosting a charity networking dinner," he said. "I need someone with your kind of insight. Come as my guest." Before she could answer, a second car, a sleek black Range Rover, stopped on her other side. Adrian stepped out himself. "Tara," he said calmly, "don't commit to anything until you've heard my offer." She stared at the two of them. 2 billionaires, 2 worlds, 2 storms colliding at her feet. For the first time in a long time, Tara Peters had no prepared survival line, just a quiet heartbeat and a feeling she didn't want to name. She adjusted her bag and said simply, "I'm not choosing anybody's offer tonight. I'm going home." Then she walked away, leaving both men standing there. Powerful, respected, undefeated men, suddenly helpless in front of a girl who didn't belong to their world, yet somehow felt like the only real thing in it. The rivalry began quietly, like 2 storms circling the same coastline. At first, Tara didn't notice anything unusual. Adrian still asked for the corner seat near the window. Kelvin still preferred the lounge facing the golf range. But their eyes watched her differently now. Not like a waitress passing by, but like a woman who had entered a room they didn't know they were guarding. Her co-workers noticed before she did. Tara, why those two always coming here the same time? Girl, are you dating one of them? Or both? She laughed it off, pretending she didn't hear the whispers. But deep inside, she felt pressure tightening around her ribs. Two powerful men circling the same woman never ends softly. The first explosion came on a Thursday. Tara brought Adrian his usual drink. He wasn't reading, wasn't typing, just watching her with that quiet intensity that made her feel seen and unsettled at the same time. You never told me your full name, he said. It's just Tara, she replied. He smiled. Nothing about you is just. Before she could respond, Kelvin walked in. His eyes found Adrian first, then her. Something sharp flickered across his face. He took a slow step forward. I thought you didn't drink this early, Tara said, trying to keep things normal. Kelvin shrugged lightly. Schedules change. Adrian's voice cut in, calm but edged. Does your schedule change, or do your intentions? Kelvin raised a brow. Why? Am I disrupting something? The tension was thick enough to chew. Tara stepped back. Please don't bring this here. I'm working. But the men weren't listening. Adrian stood, fixing his cufflinks. If you're here for the same reason I am, then let's be honest about it. Kelvin's tone dropped. Honesty is easy. Winning is the hard part. Several customers turned. Tara felt heat flush through her body. She didn't want this. This spotlight, this drama, this silent tug of war dragging her into the center. She tried to walk away, but Kelvin caught her gently by the arm. Not possessive, just concerned. Tara, are you okay? She nodded even though her heart was pounding. Adrian's jaw tightened. This isn't the place, she whispered. Both men stepped back, realizing they had crossed an invisible line. But the damage was done. By evening, someone had already tweeted, Two billionaires almost fought over a waitress at Elite Greens today. By morning, her photo, taken secretly by a customer, circulated on WhatsApp groups. That afternoon, her manager called her into the office. Tara, these men, whatever is happening, control it. We cannot afford scandal, and you cannot afford to lose this job. She went home shaky, exhausted, angry at life for turning her into entertainment. But that night, her phone buzzed. A message from a private number. I'm hosting a charity dinner tomorrow. Come. AC. 1 minute later, a second message popped up. I want you beside me at the gala tomorrow. KB. Tara dropped the phone. 2 invitations. Same night. Same event. The war had begun, and she was the battlefield. Tara woke up the next morning with both invitations still sitting on her phone screen, glowing like trouble that refused to sleep. She didn't respond to either man. She didn't even know what to say. By afternoon, social media had already begun cooking stories. The waitress who made 2 billionaires lose composure. Elite Greens love triangle. Who is Tara Peters? She shut her phone off. She had rent to pay, a mother depending on her, and a life that didn't have space for drama this loud. But Lagos never asks if you're ready, it just drags you. By evening, her manager placed a soft dress on the counter. Tara, the board says you should attend, represent the club, be neutral, no scandals. Neutral. At a gala where 2 powerful men wanted her beside them, she almost laughed. The charity gala was supposed to be peaceful. Jazz music, soft lights, expensive gowns. But from the moment Tara stepped out of the Uber, she knew the night had a pulse, a dangerous one. She wasn't wearing anything dramatic. A simple black dress borrowed from her coworker. No diamonds, no theatrics. Still, people stared. Not because of what she wore, but because of who wanted her. Inside, cameras flashed like lightning. Adrian stood on the left side of the hall, surrounded by foreign investors. Kelvin stood on the right, flanked by politicians and tech giants. Their eyes kept drifting to the entrance. And then she walked in. The room shifted. Adrian was the first to move. He approached her with measured steps, elegance in every muscle. "You came," he said quietly, as if the rest of the world didn't exist. Before she could answer, Kelvin was beside them, calm, confident, smiling like a man prepared for war. "I see my invitation reached you," Tara exhaled softly. "Both of you, please don't do this tonight." They didn't respond. Their silence was the loudest noise in the hall. The event began, a charity auction to raise funds for cancer patients. Tara was supposed to simply sit, watch, go home. But fate had other plans. Halfway through the auction, the host's voice boomed. "We have a surprise guest who will be speaking tonight. Miss Tara Peters." Her heart dropped. She turned to the organizer, who whispered, "Both Mr. Cole and Mr. Baumedel requested it. They want you included." The entire room clapped as she climbed on stage, unprepared, trembling, but too proud to show fear. She stood before Lagos's wealthiest men and women and spoke from her survival, her mother's sickness, her father's absence, the nights she went to bed hungry, the years she pretended to be okay. Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. Pain speaks clearly. When she finished, the room was silent. Then Adrian raised his paddle. "5 million. Kelvin didn't blink. 10 million. They all gasped. Adrian leaned back, eyes still on Tara. 20. Kelvin laughed under his breath. 50. People began whispering. "Tara Peters? Who is she? Is she a politician's daughter? Did she cure cancer or what?" Adrian crossed his legs slowly. 70 million. Kelvin turned fully toward Tara, as if speaking to her and not the room. 100 million. Gasps erupted everywhere. Phones were raised, screenshots were taken. Within minutes, #WhoIsTara Peters was trending. The host nearly fainted announcing it. Tara stood frozen on the stage. This wasn't admiration. This wasn't generosity. This was two empires colliding because of her. As applause thundered, Kelvin stepped closer and whispered, "You're worth the fight." Adrian moved to her other side and murmured, "You deserve a world you don't have to survive from." For the first time, Tara saw fear in their eyes. Not fear of losing money, reputation, or investors. Fear of losing her. When she left the stage, reporters surrounded her. Her name was everywhere. Her past resurfaced online. Photos from clubs, from parties, from nights she wanted to forget. But there was no shame in her eyes. Both billionaires waited at opposite ends of the hall. She walked forward slowly, heart pounding, and the entire world watched to see whose direction she would choose. Tara didn't sleep the night before the final meeting, not because she was overwhelmed by wealth, not because two powerful men wanted her, but because for the first time in her life, people were fighting over her instead of stepping on her, and she didn't know how to feel about that. By morning, the whole city was buzzing about her charity milestone, the girl who aimed for 10 million and raised 100 million overnight. Some called her lucky, some called her manipulative, some called her the next it girl of Lagos. But the two men at the center of the story, they weren't celebrating. Adrian spent the evening replaying the gala moment. The way she spoke on stage, The conviction in her voice, the intelligence behind her calm. He didn't desire her because she was beautiful. He desired her because she was rare, a mind that challenged him, not worshipped him. Kelvin, on the other hand, felt something he hadn't felt in years. Fear. Fear that someone was about to take away the only bright thing he had noticed in a long, lonely life. And Tara, she simply wanted breathing space and honest answers from herself. The next day, she asked them both to meet her. Same time, same place. A quiet space behind the golf club. No audience, no cameras, no power games, just truth. Adrian arrived first. Crisp shirt, tired eyes, trying hard not to show he was nervous. Kelvin arrived second. No suit today, just a plain shirt and a man who looked like he hadn't slept. Tara stood between them. For once they were the ones unsure what to say. She inhaled deeply. Both of you showed me parts of yourselves I'm not sure the world sees. But before anything continues, I need clarity. Not from you, from me. They listened. No interruptions, no ego. Just silence. She continued. All my life, I've been surviving. That's it. Just surviving. And for the first time, two opportunities came at me at the same time. But I don't want to pick someone because they showed up with money or influence. Both men lowered their eyes slightly, hit by the honesty. So hear me clearly, she added. I'm choosing the man who sees me, not the man who's trying to win against his rival. Adrian stepped forward, voice low. Tara, I don't want to compete. I want to build something real. Kelvin exhaled shakily. And I want to be the safe place you never had. It should have been flattering, but it only made the choice heavier. Tara took a moment, then spoke the words that changed everything. I choose Kelvin. Kelvin froze. Adrian swallowed hard, looked away, then nodded. A clean nod, not bitter, not broken, just accepting fate with dignity. Tara stepped closer to Kelvin. You listen. You don't push. You don't perform. You don't expect me to become something I'm not. With you, I breathe. Kelvin didn't move, as if he feared one wrong gesture would ruin the moment. Adrian walked toward her, and for the first time she saw a softness in him. You made the right choice for you, and that's the only thing that matters. He offered a small, tired smile, the kind that carried respect, not regret. Then walked away slowly, shoulders straight, heart heavy, but pride intact. Tara watched him go. Kelvin stood beside her, but didn't touch her yet. Are you sure? He whispered. She nodded. For once in my life, I'm choosing without fear. And for the first time since this strange story began, Tara felt something she had never felt before. Not survival, not pressure, not confusion. Peace. The end.